In this video course, we're going to cover how to create a spiral staircase in Rhino for any floor-to-floor height. And this is going to be a quick video, and I'm going to show you how to do the calculations and then just the commands of how to model a spiral staircase. And so if you're in an academic setting, you don't really have to worry so much about code, but it is good to have a reference about what code parameters are with spiral staircase. And so for spiral staircases, as you can see here, you need like a minimum of like a 26-inch tread width or depth, and a 7.5-inch tread width or depth over here at 12 inches from the center. So this is just like a good rule of thumb that if your spiral staircase has, and this circumference is about around like 13 feet. So if you do 2 pi r, the actual formula, that gives you the formula or the circumference of a circle. And so 26-inch minimum is about like 13 feet in circumference. So if your stair length is less than 13 feet, then you know that it's too small and you need to follow at least that parameter per code. Obviously, from different countries and different states, they'll have different parameters. So let's say hypothetically, we have a floor-to-floor height of 12 feet, right? So in Rhino, there's a calculator. You can just use a calculator. If you do, 12 times 12 to convert it to inches is 144 inches. And then you divide it by 7, right? So this tells you how many risers you need. And obviously, you can't have 20.5, so you round up to 21. You need 21 risers, right? And so 21 risers, you also want to know the length of your stairs, right? So let's say that each tread is 11 inches deep, right? So let me just go ahead and just draw this so you understand. So like we have a riser and then we have the tread, right? The riser and the tread. So we're saying that this is 7 inches tall and the tread we're saying is 11 inches, right? So we know we need 21 risers. And so if we multiply 21 by 11, that's going to give you the total length of stair that you need, right? So if we go here and do 21 times 11, that's 231 inches. You divide that by 12, that's 19.25 feet. So you need at least 19.25 feet of circumference or perfect circle, right? You could technically draw a circle with this circumference if you wanted to. So you could do circle, right? And then you can select the circumference option up here, and then you could do 19.25 if you want to be like exact and you want to be as minimum as possible. But to be honest, like I would, because I think if we get let's see. Yeah, it's around 3 feet, which isn't bad. I would make it just a little bit bigger than that because it does get a little bit tighter than that. I would make it maybe like a 25-foot circumference, just so that it's just a little bit more generous with the handrails. So if I do circle and circumference and I do instead 25, that just feels a little bit better. So that's that, okay? And so again, this is a spiral staircase. So what we're going to do now is we're going to divide the circle. And so if we do the divide command and select curves to divide, I'm going to select this one, press enter. The seam, it doesn't matter, but this is really important to understand that this is where it's starting the division. So if I press enter and number of segments, again, we want 21 because we need 21 steps or 21 risers, right? We can press enter. So there should be, I mean, you don't have to mark it, but it's right here. That should be the other point there. So if we count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You see, so we have 21. Next thing we want to do is I just like to draw a line from the center to this point here. I like to draw another line from here to here, okay? And then let's just go to perspective because it's easier to see. Zoom selected. Okay, great. Again, we said that the floor-to-floor height is 12 feet, right? So if I draw a line and I do vertical, right? Do 12 feet. Great. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw a helix. Okay, so we'll do the helix command, right? And we're going to do vertical. And the start of axis is going to be here, and end of axis is going to be here. And the radius is going to we're not going to start it here. We're going to start it here like this. And the turn, you see the turn? It's going to do one full turn because we're doing a true spiral staircase. So if we do a turn, right, we'll do one, right? And we'll start it right here like that. So if we look at if we look at this in top view, you see it's a perfect circle as well. So what we want to do next is create an actual tread and array that with a polar array. So what I'll do is let's just draw a circle from the center and pretend that's like our structural support, you know, and give it a diameter of 12 inches. And then I can do a curve Boolean, right? And my output, I want it to be surfaces, okay? And then I can just select it like this, enter, just select this region. There you go. So now we have this as, this is our tread, you see, right here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we understand the riser height. Even though in our design criteria, we did, 12 feet times 12, which is 144, to convert it to inches. We divided it by 7, and that gave us the number of risers you need, right? Which was like 20 point something. So we rounded up to 21. So that means the actual riser height is going to be less than that, okay? So if I draw a line in vertical, and I go from here to here, this right here, you see this distance is the true riser height, okay, for each one. So if you drew, if I drew a stair, right, it would go like that, that's the true riser height. And so what I want to do is I can get the distance here if I wanted to. So that's basically 6 and 3/4. I mean, I can change the tolerance of this if I want to be very exact. And I go here, I can change it down to like, a 16th if I wanted to. And give this the same thing with the angle tolerance. Okay. Right, if I measure it again, it's going to be 6 and 7/8, 7 inch, right? So if I go here and I pull this up like this, you see? That's the height. And it's always going to stack. So the next command we're going to do is we're going to do array polar. Okay, so we'll do array polar. Select objects to array. I want to array this. Enter. Select center of, this is the center. Number of items 21. Z offset, right? Again, just so that we understand. I don't want to type it in. I want to get the measurement reference. So I want to go from here to here. That's the exact Z offset. Then the next thing is going to ask you is what's your reference point, right? So it already has a center locked in for you. So your first, because you want to start stacking them here, right? So you can click, you'll click from here, right? And then second reference point, you can go all the way around, right, to here, because this is where you want it to stop. I can type in point just to be very exact for my snap. So it'll only snap to point like that. Enter. So do you see how each of them line up exactly? Enter. So that's that right there. And if I drew, for example, a plane, just a random plane like this, let me move it here to the center. And let me just grab a 12-inch or 12 foot, raise it up 12 feet like that, right? And let me just split, right? Like this. And like that. Well, that one I can keep, right? And so we could technically have, so do you see how it lands exactly? So this, I mean, we could technically stop it here, and then this can go all the way around if we wanted to. We just have to watch the headroom down here. So like you could stop it here, for example, and just have a guardrail go around. And then like we can pull the column up. Maybe the column goes all the way up like this, And so that's one spiral. This is very, very basic, okay? There's so many variations you can do with this now. So let me just hide this. And I should technically be working a different layer, so it's easier to move these around. Let me just select these like this. Deselect this. Deselect that. And deselect this. Let me put on a different layer. Great. No object. Move it and hide it. Okay. Let me remove from group and make a copy. And then let me just hide this. Okay, let's say as another example, you wanted this to be like an open riser instead. I mean, in the States, you can't have anything greater than 4 inches as an open riser. So if I do move face, right, and I go down, let's say it's like a 3-inch, or we can even, let's do 1 3/4 of an inch, like that. There you go. And again, array polar, select objects, enter. Center is always going to be this guy right here, right? Enter. The Z offset has already been locked in. I can just, and then this is the other reference point right here. There you go. Enter. So do you see how each corner is hitting it exactly? This means that this is, where it should go. Enter. So we have this, right? And this spiral, this helix curve is really important because you can do a lot of things with this helix, like number one, you can do your guardrail. So you can offset this straight up if you wanted to, 42-inch for the guard, and you can offset it in. So for example, like we can go, so we can make a duplicate and go up like 42 inches. You see, so that can be part of it, right? So after we have this handrail here, we could offset this in to the next one. So if I do offset distance, I want to offset it this much right here, from here to here, right? And then this curve is what I want to offset, right there, enter, cool. Let me just select this curve, type in offset, distance 3 inches, like that, there you go. And let me just move this up like 42 inches. There you go. So now we have, let me make a new layer or put these guardrails on a new layer. There you go. Like that. So you have these two right here. And like you could technically sweep the bottoms if you wanted to, like you could, if I right here, like we could sweep the entire bottom here. So if I drew a line, let me make this a new layer so you understand. Draw a line from here to here. I did sweep 2. Let's say you want to do a solid stair. Sweep 2. First rail, second rail. There you go. And that gives you the bottom surface. You see? Let's say, for example, you wanted a solid riser, like the whole thing's like this solid piece of concrete, right? So I'll show you how you can do that. Let me just do this. Let me do Duke face border. And then let me do select objects. Accept that. And hide it. Let me make this a planar surface. And let me move this up to our original riser height. This is really important. Okay, exact same thing. If I do array polar, select objects, this one, center snap on. That's the center, 21. Z offset is from before. Angle is there as well, but I just want to do it just so we have it from here. And you need to go in the direction like that, from here to here. Let me type in point, enter, great. And so what I like to do is I like to just do cell objects. And then I just want to extrude all these down like this, you see? So these become all solid. And then I could split, right? So like, for example, I can do a Boolean split. Like I can select sort of, I want to split this with this, right? So that goes. And then I can just do select objects. And then let me set this one, enter. And then we do this one. That's fine. And so we don't need this piece right here. We can get rid of this piece. You know, we don't need this edge piece right here. If I do like dupe edge, for example, I can just split this. I don't need that piece anymore. And then, you know, the guards, I can divide these maybe, I don't know, like 50. And then I can take all these points, right, and extrude them down as like balustrades if I wanted to. Like that, you see? Same thing with these. So point, hide, and I can just pipe it, you know? And then let me just go back to height swap real fast. So we have our floor plate right here. Let me just bring back these floor plates. Like this. And then I can do for the landing, the way I would do the landing is like this. Let me go dupe edge. I'm going to dupe this edge here, and I'm going to offset this curve in. Offset, I'm going to do a distance from here to here, like that, and this click, boom. So I have this and this. I want to have a landing, so we know it's stopping here, right? The stair, you see it's stopping right here. So I want 1, 2, 3, or maybe like 4 of these. That's what I want, like that. So if I take this edge here, and then let me just move it up to right here. Right? I want it like this, and you'll see why. It's really important. So if I say select this, let me dupe edge of this, dupe edge of that, take this edge, take this curve, isolate it, and then if I do curve Boolean again, let me select this, enter, like that, and then unisolate, let's do Control V, right? So now I have something like this, okay? So this is our landing. I mean, technically, this would, if I do dupe edge for both of these, enter, move it up, your guard, right, would have to extend out 1 foot and then go down. So that's what but in general, I mean, don't worry about that. Your landings, if you're going to stop a landing and you want to stack your spiral, make sure this is following the angle. You'll see what I mean right now. So if I go here and take this, remove, I take this, copy. Let's say I take this right here. I can rotate this here. like that, you see? And then this just goes up 12 feet. And you just keep repeating. Again, obviously you would have a guardrail over here, you would have guards over here. Let me just go to my display settings real fast and go to view, display modes, rendered. And I want to make sure that my curves are showing and show surface edges just for now, just so that I can see. There you go. So you would have like this come out, 12 inches and you're landing. And this would just this would continue like that. And then you would obviously also have a guard over here wherever this is stopping. So sometimes there'll be like a double guard here, but this, you'll have a guard here. You'll have a guard here that goes around like this. Some people will just carry it all the way across like that, depending how you do your spiral staircase. Yeah. So I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot of videos on here, spiral staircase, but none of them just give you like a straightforward calculation method of how to do it and all the different options. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down in the comments section below. And please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And I'm going to start uploading some more videos in a couple weeks. Thank you.